Imagine Earth as a tiny grain of sand, the Sun, a giant beach ball 10 feet away. But the universe, well, let's just say your mind isn't ready for what comes next. And today we're journeying from our pale blue dot to the edge of everything. Let's start close to home. Our Earth is 12,742 kilometers wide, but in the cosmic scheme, it's a speck. The real giant is our Sun. 1.3 million Earths could fit inside it. Now, if we scaled the solar system down to the size of a city, Earth would be a marble. Neptune, the farthest planet, would be a soccer ball 10 kilometers away. And the entire solar system, a bubble stretching twice as wide as the moon's orbit around Earth. Now let's zoom out even further. Our solar system is just one tiny part of something much, much bigger, the Milky Way galaxy. Picture this. If the solar system were the size of a city, Earth would be a marble, and Neptune, the farthest planet, would be a soccer ball 10 kilometers away. But the Milky Way, it's a colossal frisbee, 100,000 light-years wide. To cross the Milky Way from one end to the other, even at the speed of light, which is 299,792 kilometers per second, it would take you 100,000 years. That's 1.2 billion years if you were traveling in a spaceship like NASA's Voyager 1, which moves at about 61,000 kilometers per hour. But here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. Our galaxy isn't alone. It's part of a cosmic neighborhood called the Local Group, which includes about 54 galaxies. The biggest member, the Andromeda galaxy, our closest galactic neighbor. Andromeda is twice the size of the Milky Way, spanning 220,000 light-years. And guess what? It's headed straight for us. In about 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide in a cosmic dance, merging into one giant galaxy. Don't worry though, stars are so far apart that they'll likely just pass by each other. But imagine the night sky then, two galaxies swirling together, lighting up the heavens. And here's another crazy fact. The Milky Way isn't even the biggest galaxy out there. IC 1101, the largest known galaxy, is 50 times wider and 2,000 times more massive than our Milky Way. It's so big that if it were in our local group, it would swallow up everything, including Andromeda. So while our solar system feels enormous, it's just a tiny speck in a galaxy that's itself a speck in an even grander cosmic tapestry, and we're just getting started. Now let's zoom out even further. Our Milky Way galaxy, as massive as it is just one of billions in the universe. But galaxies don't exist in isolation. They clump together in groups, clusters, and superclusters. And our galactic neighborhood, it's part of something truly enormous, the Laniakia supercluster. First, let's talk about the local group. This is our immediate cosmic neighborhood, a collection of about 54 galaxies, including the Milky Way, Andromeda, and the Triangulum galaxy. The local group spans about 10 million light-years, a distance so vast that even light takes millions of years to cross it. But the local group is just a tiny part of something much bigger, the Virgo supercluster. This supercluster contains at least 100 galaxy groups and clusters, including our local group. It spans about 110 million light-years, a region so large that it's almost impossible to imagine. And here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. In 2014, astronomers discovered that the Virgo supercluster is just one small part of an even larger structure, the Laniakia supercluster. The name Laniakia means immense heaven in Hawaiian, and it's a fitting name for this cosmic giant. Laniakia spans a staggering 520 million light-years and contains about 100,000 galaxies. To put that in perspective, if the Milky Way were the size of a grain of rice, Laniakia would be the size of Mount Everest. But what exactly is a supercluster? It's not a solid structure. It's more like a cosmic river, with galaxies flowing along invisible currents of gravity. At the heart of Laniakia is the Great Attractor, a mysterious region of space that's pulling thousands of galaxies, including ours, toward it. The Great Attractor is one of the universe's biggest mysteries. It's hidden behind the plane of the Milky Way, making it hard to study. But we know it's there, tugging on galaxies with the force of a quadrillion suns. So, while the Milky Way feels enormous, it's just a tiny speck in Laniakia, a supercluster so vast that it redefines our understanding of big, and yet even Laniakia is just one thread in the universe's grand tapestry. Now let's zoom out even further. beyond galaxies, beyond superclusters, to the largest structure in the known universe, the cosmic web. Imagine the universe isn't just a random scattering of galaxies. Instead, it's a vast, intricate network of filaments, like a spiderweb woven across billions of light years. These filaments are made of dark matter and gas, with galaxies strung along them like pearls on a necklace. Between the filaments are enormous voids, regions of space that are almost completely empty, spanning hundreds of millions of light years. Here's the wild part. The cosmic web isn't just a cool visual, it's the backbone of the universe. Without it, galaxies wouldn't form, and the universe as we know it wouldn't exist. It's like the universe's skeleton, holding everything together. And the scale? It's almost impossible to comprehend. The largest known filament, the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, is 10 billion light-years long. That's over 10% of the observable universe. To put that in perspective, if the Milky Way were the size of a grain of rice, this filament would stretch from New York to Los Angeles, and then some. But here's where it gets even stranger. The cosmic web isn't just huge, it's also eerily familiar. If you zoom in on a single filament, it looks almost exactly like the neurons in your brain. Scientists call this phenomenon the cosmic brain, a strange, beautiful reminder that the universe might be more connected than we think. And the craziest part, we're only seeing a tiny fraction of it. The observable universe, the part we can see, is 93 billion light-years wide. But the entire universe? It could be infinitely larger. We're literally just scratching the surface of what's out there. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, you're not just looking at stars. You're looking at one tiny thread in the universe's grand tapestry. A tapestry so vast, so complex, that we're only beginning to understand it. So how big is the universe? Truth is, we don't know. The observable universe is 93 billion light-years wide, but there's likely far more beyond what we can see. And here's the wildest part. This is your universe. A tiny human on a tiny planet, somehow able to comprehend all this. If this blew your mind, smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What cosmic mystery should we unveil next? Until then, keep looking up. The universe is waiting.